this game so much. I'm gonna have to edit all this out. Break the highlight into 2 parts. So I'm gonna just do traditional here. Fire shots, even if you just get one off right here, it's worth it on this guy. Kill this dude. Back to the right worm. You're gonna take damage in this fight. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be upset if you do. It happens. It's just something you deal with. Now, if you did pick up the CM vest, which I actually didn't include in this tutorial, and I guess I should have, you'll have even less of an issue. But as you can tell, if you can actually bait the worms into throwing balls that explode in certain directions. If this guy spawns first, you're gonna run like this, and you're gonna go up here, and you're gonna tap once, hit the middle guy once. Now, unfortunately, their cycles are so off that I don't think I'll actually be able to tap on both on one turn. So you'll do it like this instead. Tap once, tap twice. And this should still kill them on the same turn, as long as you're splitting damage evenly. And it looks like based on the timing here, I can... Ooh! Yikes. 1, 2... Oh, that's bad. So I'm 1 bullet off, so I might get to the big worm, which is fine because I should show you what happens. When you get to this big worm, that sucks. Just bait him to the right or to the left. He should only be 1 hit away from death if you did the traditional route. When that happens, you're fine. Just make sure that you either run to the right side to dodge his attack, kind of wait for his animation to start, then run to the right. Wait for his animation to start, run to the left. Far right, far left, either or. You should be able to dodge his attacks. I'll explain the worms real quick and how they work after this fiasco of what I've been doing for the past 10 minutes. What happens is, once you kill one worm, the others gain health, they gain damage, strength, or whatever you want to call it. They do more damage, they get larger in visual size, and they gain health. So the 121 strat abuses it to a point where we kill 3, which is the max amount you can kill in 1 turn. It's the fastest possible way to do it, and you're relegated to the speed at which they pop up, which is why it's called 121, because it's not faster to do that fight than 1 minute and 21 seconds, unless there's a completely different strategy using different weapons that somebody eventually comes up with. Regardless, 121 is the fastest way you can do it because you kill 3 on 1 turn, and by doing that, that disallows them to then get healthier, to get stronger, and to pop up as bigger worms. Traditionally, you'll kill the 1 worm, you'll kill the middle worm, and then you'll split shots between the 2, and you should never deal with the big one. So after you kill the first one, the other 3 get stronger. Once you kill the second one, the last 2 get stronger, and then you split shots between the 2 of them. Now, if you kill one before the other, that big worm appears. Again, it follows the same pattern. It has a little bit more health, but the amount of health it receives is usually like 25, 30, something like that, I think, which is why it'll usually die in 1 hit anyways, if you were only off by 1 hit doing the traditional route. The thing I hate the most, I'm still not used to where the spikes go every time. Now that is something that you will just kind of, it'll come naturally to you eventually. The spikes, I still eat spikes all the time, and it's totally fine when that happens. What you want to do then is to just, if you run far enough away, you can kind of bait them to throw it. They're always going to throw the ball, the center of the ball, where you were standing when they trigger that animation. So if you run a specific distance away, and then run back towards them, you should almost always be able to dodge it. Now you'll get used to it. If you run too far away, by the time it explodes and you're running backwards, you're gonna catch it and you're gonna eat that shit. So it is just practice. Don't be afraid to die in this fight. You should have a revive, and this is primarily where you're gonna use it. So don't be afraid to die. Don't be afraid to sacrifice a heal if you're still learning and all that, absolutely. But as soon as the fight's over, immediately menu, after you've mashed X and picked up everything the worms drop, come here, heal 2, heal 1 if you got it, if you got the PE for it. I don't. Use medicine until you're full HP. Jesus Christ, I need to drop this. Don't use defenses. You actually shouldn't have that extra offense. I don't know where the hell I got that. Um, but this is what it'll look like. After you are done using that medicine to top off your health, reload to max ammo. Go to BP and use all of your bonus points in active. Now, we will switch that eventually, and I'll make note of where we switch that. And when we do it, you'll start putting them into attack. But until I say that, which is about halfway through the run, put every single bonus point into active. Then, as a conclusion of the menu, just mash to sort and leave. Exit up here. Excuse me. So this fight, just exit to this side over here. This fight, immediately start holding up, and then and you'll see her pull out her gun, then start mashing. You're gonna mash twice. Once she retreats, pulls her gun down, run up, run diagonally up, and try to get onto this step. I say try because it's not always super easy. Skip this nonsense. All right, now this fight can go two different ways. Well, I mean, I guess it could go a lot of different ways, but she has two primary attacks. Two attacks that she uses, and you can actually force her to use both of them based on your positioning. Now, for a faster fight, it's more dangerous. You run the risk of taking more damage. And to do that, you're going to bait her melee attack, her swipe. Now, when you do that, that is much faster animation than the other one. Not only is the second attack, where she flies into the air, slower, but you actually can't target her while she's doing it, so you lose double time on that. So usually you're going to want to stand close to her wherever she is and then as soon as she readies her attack, as soon as you fire your attack and she rears back her arm to hit you, run the opposite direction. You're going to get hit most of the time, but if you just dodge one, you'll usually live. If you're really scared about dying, you use the revive that you had on worms. You don't have medicine to heal, you don't have parasite energy to heal or whatever, just stand far away from her and it'll force her to fly up into the air, and that attack is much easier to dodge. Now I'll show you what both of those attacks look like. The fastest fight possible is to have every attack from her be a melee attack, because that way you just keep firing shots on timer. Oops. So essentially, there's not much more to it strategy-wise. Stand really close to where she is. For melee attacks, stand further away to make her fly up in the air. So I'm going to stand right here to bait a melee attack. Sometimes I take contact damage, and boom. You see, I just run away. And then I run right here. This is her movement, by the way. And then I run away again. Oh, so another thing that's worth mentioning, because it's Parasite Eve, not everything works at all. Not everything works well in this game. So even though I was right in front of her dumb face, she decided she was going to fly up in the air. It cost me time anyways. That happens. That's not up to you. Your best chances are to stand right in front of her to bait the melee attack. Sometimes she just doesn't, you know. Sorry. It's just part of the shitty game. But I'm going to show you what this looks like. So this is what her attack when she flies up in the air. She's going to put this orb somewhere. So as you can see, it's right here. If I stand right here, I'm actually going to take a little bit of damage. You take the most damage in the center of it. So as long as you're not standing in this pink circle, all the way to like this outer pink circle, you're going to be probably fine. It's probably going to do 30 to 40 damage max. If you stand inside this, it's going to do about as much as a melee. So just get away from this as quickly as possible. Stand as far away as possible. So like over here, I should be 100% safe. I should take 0 damage. Now, after this attack has exploded and gone off, don't immediately run to this side, because it has like lingering hurt boxes that just stay there even though the actual animation is gone. So boom, she uses that, I dodge it, and then I just fire shots at her again as soon as she comes back down. Made a melee, boom. She should be 1 attack from death. Yep, there you go. And the fight's over. So naturally, because that attack is so easy to dodge, if you're worried about safety, just stand far away, you know, let her fly up for every single attack. It costs you probably 40 seconds if every single attack is a flying attack. I mean, not even that much, 20 seconds. So you're not losing a whole ton, and it's really easy to die to melees because they do like 70 a hit. I always forget during the carriage pre-scene that it's not a full cutscene. You have to walk. Yeah, that's why I said to hold up, because I always think that it's immediately text, and I forget if I'm not paying attention that you actually have to move up. There's another scene like that when you're in the hospital No, when you're in the NYPD and you walk into the room to find Maida at the beginning of day 4, you actually have to take a couple steps forward as well. And that happens a few different times in the game. So right here, that's the end of day 2. 2 hours and 15 minutes, and we've managed to make it through 2 days. That's good. Right here, you just mash. Just mash, mash, mash. That's all you're going to do this entire time. There's no movement commands until the actual end of the day where it prompts day 3, do you want to save? So you literally just mash for like minutes on end. I'm going to fast forward through all this because it's nonsense. We're going to meet Shiva. Shiva, my worst enemy. Can't stand her. Hate her guts. I'm going to turn on my heat real quick. It's actually fucking freezing. My bad. Alright, sorry about that. It's worth noting that ice skate cutscene you just saw is it's like 40-something seconds, 40-odd seconds, I believe. So if you're close enough to the bathroom and you need to pee real quick and you just rush that shit out, you can actually squeeze in a quick pee right there. I'll list all the good pee spots because that is a very, very pertinent part of this speedrun. People laugh at me when I say that, but it's a real thing. Being comfortable for the speedrun, that's worth its weight in gold. It's an untold strategy. There you go. Again, just mash till this is over. We're introduced to Maida. I'm not going to explain any of the story, primarily because like I've only ever speedran this game. So my story is, I don't have the story 100%. I have it like a jerry-rigged, what are those notes called? Cliff Notes version of it. But because of the pace that I'm trying to go through this tutorial and all the stuff I'm already explaining, I'm just going to go ahead and avoid doing any of that. If you're interested in playing this game for the story, play it casually, watch the movie, I don't know. That's up to you. Again, the fastest way to do this is to actually hit XXXX, and as soon as the save prompt opens up, close it like that. I just select no because it's a habit. So you're going to say one text box here, immediately start holding right. As soon as you clear this bed, upright, and then down, straight right, boom, to the door. That's the best way you're going to get around the obstacles in that room. It's a pretty cluttered room. Here you just mash. So when you see the cop car roll up, you're going to want to start holding circle while you mash and holding left and down. And that way, you master the text and you immediately start moving when you're able. And then, so right here, this is actually a weird sequence. This is one of the worst screens in the whole game. All 3 of these screens we're about to go into. So, down left, left, up left to hug the wall. See, if you go down left, so you can actually like make it by Maida like that. So if you actually just stutter to the left, you can make it, and then you can just walk all the way through. So that's what I suggest, because if you're actually too low, you'll run into the invisible wall next to the street pole. In this same screen, on this screen, you just hold straight down. You're gonna turn immediately to this gun shop, face the door. It'll prompt her to say something. Just mash X while Daniel whips out his gun, curves a bullet right around you, and breaks into the gun shop because he is a gangster. So start holding circle, left, and mashing X. You're gonna stutter yourself into the door. That's fine, but that's the fastest way to do it. She'll immediately open it. So this is the order in which you should open these chests. Now remember, if you can actually, as soon as you hit the chest, tap X circle in a certain rhythm, you can actually open it really quick. Otherwise, just X circle so that you aren't prompted to put something back in the chest. That's very important. Otherwise, you'll end up with less items and shit. And then come to this one. So I'll do that again real quick, just show you the chest. You're gonna come up to this one, this green one, pick up this. You're gonna run to this where these yellow guns are right here on this gun rack. Interact with that. Then you're gonna run down here, all the way to where like you can't go down anymore. You see? Run to the right. There's actually a chest you can't actually see here. You're gonna get that, get the tool out of it, come back up here. Run around Maida. Run up, run around Daniel. Then you're going to run diagonally down to this chest, which is also a little hidden on this side of this rail right here. As soon as you pick up this one, open your inventory. You're going to go to the guns. You're going to click on the M16A one. You're going to go to the M11. You're going to put all the bonus stats on the M11. Then you're going to go to the M84F. You're going to go to the M11. And you're going to put rate of fire on the 2 on the M11. Make sure that's probably the most important part. Make sure you do that. If you screw up this gun menu, it's going to be a reset. So just take the gun menus slow until you figure them out. Primus's notes, which you should be reading in conjunction with this video if you are learning the run, their menuing, like the details it includes in menuing in those notes are fucking phenomenal. So definitely check that out. Anyways, move this. If you got the extra tool in that box that I told you to pick up on the way to Worms, that gave me the defense 1, if you got the extra tool, you can actually take the G19 bonus stats and put it on the M11 here now. If you didn't, then you're going to do what I'm doing right here. Now, that's completely, it's not necessary if you didn't get that extra tool. Totally doesn't matter. And then you're going to come to sort right above where you are. You're going to come down here to bullet capacity. Use it on the M11. Should be your first choice every single time because you just sorted your inventory. Do not use any defenses yet. Once you're done, back out. Make sure you come down to the change weapon because we got rid of the weapon that we got rid of the weapon we're using by stripping its stats. Go to M11. Now, if you don't do that, the very next fight you fight, you're actually going to have to either beat them to death with a stick, which I would not recommend, or in that fight, use one of your ATB charges to equip your gun, which slows it down, obviously. So just make sure you do it there, no issues. Now here, you actually can't, even though you ran directly down, holding nothing but down, when you arrived on this screen, all the way up here, you can't actually just hold up to return all the way back up it, because you run at this broken ass angle. Look at that. Look at that quality gun. Quality running. See this invisible wall? Look how far it extends. This is a fire hydrant. Look how large this fire hydrant is. See that? It ends right here. Look where this invisible wall is. Are you kidding me? This is Parasite, you guys, in a nutshell. Look at that. Look how far away. I'm almost at that window, bro. Oh my god. Anyways, the best way to do it is when you come out of the gun shop, immediately hug the wall. Run. Hug the wall again. Run. Because there's also another invisible wall right here. Look at that. Quality. Just quality. Anyways. Club percent. Nah. This is not club percent, unfortunately. You're going to have to wait for March to come around for club percent. So right here, again, you can't actually just run left. What you want to do is run up to the wall and past Maida. Now you're going to run all the way to this next screen. Right here, boom, invisible wall. So right as you get close to this, just run up a little bit, boom, you dodge it. Now here, I actually run this path because I feel like it's easier to trigger the door. In between Daniel and the fire hydrant, like as soon as you get behind Daniel, diagonally down towards the door and run at the door. Sometimes this door trigger is really hard to hit. Just keep running at it until she hits it. That's how you deal with this game. You just keep ramming at it until it does what you want. And she says the door's broken, whatever. If you don't need the revive, if you still have the one you had earlier, or if you don't care about revives in your run or whatever, just immediately turn and exit. Because it's a story trigger, that's it. However, if you use your revive or you would like to have a second one, it doesn't hurt. In marathons, I always pick up both of them. Come up here, pick it up, costs you about 10-15 seconds. Get the revive and return. Otherwise, if you don't need the revive, just leave, and you're good to go. Now, again, run up to this wall, around the trash can, and run out. There you go, by holding up. So to go up that screen, you hold up, right runs right, left runs left. Here, you're going to run, this is the trick that I like to do here, because this is super annoying. The door trigger on this our goal is to go from right here, where Aya is standing, to this door, like lined up right here with these lights. Not the back door, because there's a trigger for that for some reason. You want this door. I don't know why it even gives you an option to open that door besides to upset you, but it does. The best way to do this is to run up to the wall. Run straight left. At the edge of this black nonsense right here, whatever this is, the very corner of this, once I'm like right here, start running diagonally down towards the door like this. Boom, boom, boom. And she should, oops, I didn't do it right. She should prompt it every single time. Now, if you don't get it, the best, if she doesn't prompt the door and you're like, what the hell is happening? Run back up here and do it again. That's a faster way to actually do it than just keep ramming the door, because the trigger is not actually on the door itself. It's actually a couple steps back. You can see how far away I am from the actual car. So right here is where you need to be, lined up with this, a couple spaces over from that. That is something you'll figure out as you go. That's my best advice, is to dealing with that. I know a lot of people get upset about it. It sucks to deal with. It does. And there's not really a solution, unfortunately. But say yes. Continue to. And right here, you're just going to mash. As soon as you confirm yes on the... I lied to you. So I got to go back to the fucking car. Anyway, I'll show you. So I can show you it a second time. Let me show you what it looks like. Start holding up, hit the wall, run down, come here. Boom. Every time. It's like that. It's that easy. Okay, so I lied. And once you select the museum, then you just mash. Don't start just mashing. I was ahead of myself. The museum is going to be 2 to the left. Boom, boom, 2 to the left. Now you can mash. You got about 7 minutes of just mashing. So I'm going to fast forward it for everyone's sanity's sake. Again, like I said earlier, anytime you deal with clamp, it's bullshit. You're just going to have to mash for a long time. There's not really... that's just the game. This game has a lot of cutscenes. This game has a lot of mashing. And that's just the nature of Parasite Eve, unfortunately, for everyone. But as a speed game, it gives you a lot of opportunities to kind of catch your breath. Take a second. Granted, you are mashing, but like you mash one finger, right? So I'll sometimes mash, and I'll just read like my text messages or check my email and shit. So it's casual in that regard. It's not bad. But here you just master everything. You're gonna see some cutscenes. This explains the story. It's all irrelevant to the speedrun. And then Clamp comes in. He says, "What are you doing in my office?" They pull out their guns, and he's like, "What the hell?" And they're like, "What are you doing here?" He's like, "I work here." They're like, "Wow." And that's it. That's Parasite Eve. Anyways, this is the only skip in the whole game coming up. I'm gonna show you. That's why I'm gonna stop fast forwarding. So, okay, so real quickly, I'm gonna save state. If you mash at a certain pace, you'll skip. You saw a Clamp walk to the computer. If you mash at a certain pace, he'll actually skip him walking to the computer. Right there, like you saw. So nobody knows why it happens or what the pace is. It saves 1 second, something like that. It's just for funsies. Figured I'd show it to you. Anyway, you mash until you're done with this. Once everybody leaves the office is a good time. Like, now is when you should start paying attention. So, as Clamp says something, it fades to black. You want to go 2 to the left to go to the NYPD. So, boom, 1, 2, and you're in NYPD. Run over, get Clamp, skip. Exactly. Bingo. You got it. So here, you're going to just mash through this. Mash again to confirm your spot at the map. Oh my god, these load times are bad. Wow, I haven't played an emulator in forever. So here, you got more mashing. The only time when you stop mashing is going to be when Meta gives you the charm, which is annoying, but it's something you got to deal with because that's just his character in this game. So here, you get this charm from Meta. He says, "Thank you so much, I'll cherish it." As soon as you accept it and you see that screen fade to black, start holding diagonally up and left, and then up. Now just immediately hold left, just straight left, and you'll just move from one screen to the next. Whoop! Now hold down and left, and you'll start the fight as fast as you can. So you can actually start the fight before you even finish loading. so that saves you a little bit of time. Just mash X here. As long as you equip the gun like you're supposed to, you just mash X here. Usually this fight takes 2 turns. Unfortunately, I got a little unlucky with damage rolls, so it's going to take 3. But that's fine. Try to end the fight where I am right here. Don't end the fight up here or down here. Even though it looks like I'm not lined up with his doorknob, I am, just because of the physics of the game. That fight is always going to drop an offense. Always. Usually a medicine with it, but it's always guaranteed to drop an offense. At least the drams do something. Oh yeah, exactly. That's true. That's true. But anyways, you're gonna mash, accept all those items, because it's always gonna be good stuff. And you run directly left, boom, right into the doorknob. Obviously, that's just really small time save to be able to hit that door as quickly as possible without issue. But it is something that, in the grand scheme of things, all those little minute time saves, a second here, a second there, add up when your PB is pretty clean and you're trying to better it. So this video is about. Might as well include it. Here you just mash, gives you the gun. Now, this is something that I struggle with, even still. When he says, and nail that monster for Torres, you actually have a little bit of delay before you can accept it, so you'll have to read that line. You just got to, because of how the animation of the text works. Accept it. Then, hit X once, twice. Do not store equipment. Move down to store items. Now, if you're mashing X really quickly, you're going to store equipment. You're going to say, shit, that wasn't what I meant to do. You're going to end, and it's going to say, nail this monster for Torres. Again, it doesn't take you back to the menu. You have to then do this all over again. So yeah, make sure you store item. You're going to select, come over here, like I said earlier, select a blank space. You're going to put the zoo key and the Hamaya away. So as you can see, I went right here, the first available empty slot, came over, found the zoo key, and then I just went directly over to the right of where the zoo key was to select the next available slot. That just happened to be down here. So there's not any significance to the order or anything like that. But once you store those 2 items, you back out and you leave. If you're lucky, you won't get this fight again. If you're unlucky, you're going to get the fight again. Okay. So for anybody who's unfamiliar with Parasite Eve, unfamiliar with the speedrun, the game, and the mechanics in general, what happens is encounters. So on this screen, I knew I was going to get that fight. You're 100% of the time going to get the fight the first time you come through this screen. So when I entered through here, the fight started. I killed the fight. Every time you come back through a screen that you've already had a fight on, it reduces the likelihood of getting that fight from 100% to 50%, from 50 to 25, and it just halves it every single time, right? So you got a 50% chance to get this fight when we exit and we come back to this room. Now I got the good dice roll and I didn't get it. There's one more screen in this NYPD section that we're going to do where that is possible of happening again. But that is very important, and ultimately probably the biggest amount of time lost and time saved in the entire game and the entire speedrun is going to be how often you get repeat encounters and which encounters those are, because some of them are worth a lot more than others, some of them are a lot slower than others, some of them are a lot more dangerous than others. NYPD is kind of irrelevant. The hospital is where it starts to be annoying. There's only 2 here. They're both relatively quick. Ideally, you don't want any encounters until you get to the museum, because that's where the encounters are worth the most. So if you can make it through NYPD and the hospital with 0 encounters, you're in incredibly good shape. Even if you get every encounter after that, at least it's worth a lot of EXP, and your gun is a lot stronger. So anyways, you're going to just run straight. Once you exit here, I'll show you what it looks like. Once you exit here, just run straight up. The screen is going to move, run diagonally up into the door frame. Now right here, you're going to want to hit X once. You're going to want to run straight up. Even though it's to the left, you're going to want to move up. Run to Kathy's feet, turn to the left, talk to her. By running to her feet, turning left, by pushing left once, that'll allow you to then just hold down and exit back to the door, which saves you a little bit of time. So if I were to run up towards her like this, I talk to her. Oh yeah, if you talk to him a second time, you'll get ammo. Don't do it; it's worthless. But if I were to, prompt the conversation from this position, and I try to run down, boom, there you go. So, like I said, Now right here, in order to walk around the trigger of the next room so that we don't accidentally trigger that fight, making the game think we're going through it a third time, the best thing to do is to run diagonally down, hit the wall. Once you hit the wall, follow the wall, run diagonally to go to the stairs. And that way we walk around that trigger, because you can hit the trigger coming down from that if you run just straight directly down. Once you load this screen, hold directly down until you're about right here, and then run along this wall here. And that'll start the fight. And that's the least amount of movement inputs you can do on that screen. So right here I like to run away, bait him into this. Don't immediately attack. The reason for that is that the bird is, like, for some reason way out of the screen, and he needs time to fly down. So if you have max ATB at the start of the fight, you just mash X, and you shoot your shots at the bird, it's gonna fucking miss. So wait a second till the bird comes into frame, then fire your bullets. Here, I always just accept this because it's always gonna be medicine and junk. Sometimes it's 2 medicine, sometimes it's 1 medicine and junk, but you're gonna eat the junk, that's fine. We're gonna menu it out here anyways, so you might as well pick it up. Hit end, run directly downwards to this door. Now in this, you're gonna wanna hold left and down. I should show you that again. Ah, shit. Oh wait, I didn't hit the story trigger yet, so I should be good. Okay, so while the screen is loading, hold diagonally left and down until it finishes loading, then just hold straight down. So similar to when we were in this room earlier and we're going from this door to this door, when you come in here to head to him, hold left and down. You'll run to about here. By the time the screen loads, just release left and only be holding down. You'll slide off this and you'll run right to him in the perfect line. Too bad the game doesn't let you use let you use the charm, since it would be an arrow. Yeah. The charms in Parasite Eve 2 are obviously massive as far as, like, their importance to the storyline. But the charms in this game were just literal inventory trash. So now run up here, just go through the door, whatever is the best way for you to do so. Now after you've talked to him, you're gonna have to master all this nonsense. There's Shiva, being the monster that she is. Move forward. I did get this fight. So this is an example of what happens when you do get the repeat encounter. Not the end of the world. Just try to dodge the attacks, make the fight go as fast as possible. Try to end it up here, just like we do with every other fight. I'm actually just going... Damn it. I didn't mean to pick that up, but it's whatever. So right here, run. You can actually walk over this guy's legs. His foot right here, that's fine. But what you can't walk over is this bald-headed asshole over here laying in the middle of the floor. So what you want to do is kind of run to the right. Miss the stairs, go back into this room up here. Immediately hold just straight right. Nothing else, just right. Get in front of this chest. Move upwards to face the chest. Open it. With circle, confirm it. Immediately open your menu. Go over here to the vest you have equipped. It's always going to be in this spot, unless you have an extra gun for some reason. Don't pick up extra guns. Do KV Vest 1. Come here, discard it. Yeah, I know it's equipped. It's not a big deal. Discard it. Go down to wherever the CM Vests... Oh, wait. Sorry, don't go down. Go down to the defenses. Use them. Just mash X. Because you only have 1 piece of gear, and it's just going to auto-equip it on that. Boom. Problem solved. Now go down to the offense +1 you picked up from that guaranteed fight earlier. Go to the M11. If you have any junk, now would be the time to discard it. Go down. Now this is so important. I cannot stress how important this is to you. Because you have thrown away the KV Vest 1, which is what you had equipped. Now if you use the CM Vest from earlier, you'll have that to throw away. It's irrelevant. You threw away what you had equipped. So right now you have absolutely no armor on. You have no gear on whatsoever. So if you run into the next encounter and you forget to equip the armor, you're going to get the crap beat out of you and you're going to die. I've lost so many runs to that. So make absolutely sure that once you're done with this menu, throw away the vest. Every defense you have, sometimes you have 1 defense, sometimes you have 4. It varies. Use all the defenses you have on the piece of gear that you have left. Go down the offense, use it, get rid of junk, immediately go to your change armor, equip it. You will take insane damage from the spiders that we're about to fight, and you will die. I've lost a lot of really good runs to forgetting to do this. I have used up revives on accident in marathons for doing this, so just make sure you do it. It's one of the most important parts of any menu in the whole game. Then after that, if you're not full health, feel free to pop a couple heals on yourself if you want to top yourself off. It's not necessary. VP, we shouldn't have any. Oh, and then sort your inventory. Boom. What? Oh, it revives. I forgot that I pick up revives. And then immediately hold left to exit the room. After you exit the room, immediately hold down. And then as you make it to like right here, past this wall, you don't want to go left, right? So once you've cleared it, once your shadow down here has cleared it, just hold left to go right up. No diagonals or anything like that, at least. As soon as this loads, diagonal, or left and down to line up with this. Straight lines, that's the best way to do it. That's how you play Parasite. Run in straight lines as often as possible. You're gonna have a little bit of mashing sequence here. We're gonna skip it. Okay, so this is a spider fight. It's gonna be, I think this is your first encounter with slow in the game. Slow is what it sounds like. Fucking, it's terrible. It slows you down, slows down your time, makes the fight last longer, makes the fight more dangerous. Slow and blind are two of the worst things you can run into in this whole game. So in this fight, I'll show you how to dodge it. Now, granted, our gun targets randomly now. Don't worry too much about it. My main thing, as far as that is concerned, I should have mentioned this earlier. Why we do it is because it's faster, does more damage because of how the random targeting works and the bonuses that come along with it. Obviously, you can't choose your targets. It makes it a little bit more difficult. But the best thing to do, and I'll show you in this fight, is to just stand in a position where you have the most targets within your range. So if I gotta stand in the middle of 5 enemies, I want to stand in a spot that allows me to be able to hit as many of them as possible based on my positioning. So just stand in advantageous positions, and random targeting is 100% not an issue. And the bonuses that come with it far outweigh the actual cons that come with it. Anyways, right here, once you reach this shadow, boop, 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 right there, hold that up. And then once you reach this, just hold up. You'll start that fight as fast as you possibly can. Now right here, what you're going to do is you're going to run down and then run up at an angle. And that way you will 100% of the time dodge every single spider web. If you get caught with the spider webs, just shoot until they die. Now, as you can see here, I'm going to stand right here because this puts me in the best position to be able to reach as many targets as possible. You're not always going to be in the best position to hit all of them. You're not always going to hit all of them. That happens. But just put yourself in the best position to succeed as far as like your targeting on your gun. Now, after a couple turns, the spiders will fire a second, but they should either be long dead by then or only one turn away. If you're worried about it, stay mobile. Just continue to move in between your shots, and you should not have any issue with it. Mash, they always drop ammo, so mash through that. Always pick all that up. After this fight, if you have more than 80 health, you're probably fine. If you have less than 80, I would heal. I'm going to heal here anyways for solidarity's sake. And then you just run straight up into the next screen. Slow, it slows you. Exactly. But slow, so slow in this game is a bit unique because it not only slows your ATB, it also slows your movement speed, which is a huge issue because you're more likely to take damage. You're putting out damage less frequently. You're not reducing enemies, like the total enemies in the fight. So slow and blind are two things that absolutely gut you. Slow even way more so than even blind. And blind is straight up awful. So right here, just mash through it. You're going to see a cool cutscene I'm going to let you guys watch real quick. Yeah, it is called stiffness. You are correct. Cure M removes it, stiffness. Which I guess is a better name considering it does slow ATB and movement speed, so it's like you're stiff. But regardless, it's slow. Most people are going to know it is slow. Mash X through this nonsense. Let's go ahead and fast forward. Now, as soon as this finishes loading, just move straight up. This fight right here is always going to drop a tool, every single time. So just sit here and shoot him. You should never die in this fight. And if you do, your vest should heal you, like before you fall to a critical HP total. So just kind of stand in place and mash X until you kill these guys. As soon as you land the last hit, run up like you just saw me do right there. This fight will always drop a tool. 100% consistently, guaranteed every single time. So if you have not already, like I remember I said earlier in the shop, if you have not put the G19 bonus stats on, you're going to do that now. However, I mentioned that if you got an extra tool in the park from that box that gave me a defense 1, you've already done this. So if you have done it, remember, don't even bother opening your menu here. If you haven't, you're going to go to G19, to the M11, you're going to put the bonus stats from the G19 on there. Do not do the M92F. We need that gun for later. Do not, under any circumstance, well, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, it really doesn't. Just do the G19, but if you do screw it up, you're not going to lose the game. So you can continue if you accidentally butcher that. Just make sure that you take the bonus stats to the M11. Don't put the M11 bonus stats on the G19, because then you do have to reset. But I'll mention this now. Anytime I open a menu, I almost always try to sort, just because it makes menuing in the future super simplified. That's up to you. But after I do this, I always sort. Once you sort, you'll notice it takes me to my inventory. And then because I'm up here on my inventory, I can actually go to heal really quick. So it skips me having to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. And not just that, but at the same time that it took me to do that, my inventory got sorted and I'm healing myself. So yeah, that helps a lot. Sort your inventory anytime you got your menu open. Just remember to do that. It's helpful. Stiffness, hell yeah. Kappa pride. So right here, it's worth noting, you go up, or you go right to progress into this screen, and then you have to hold up. Even though you want to continue running to the right, you actually move up. We're going to fight a spider right here. The best way to deal with this fight is to run straight towards the spider in this corner, and then run away from it. He will either melee attack you, that's fine, or he'll shoot web. Stay mobile if he's not used his web. Right there was an example of my vest healing me. That's fine. I've made that mistake 10,000 times. Oh, really? The screen thing? Oh, yeah. No, it's a bad one. This one is super hard to remember. You want to run right, but you have to hold up. It doesn't make sense. There's a lot of screens like that in the game where it's like, why did you do this? Why did you design it like this? Just mash through the inventory. Right here, immediately open your menu, reload to 0 or full, whatever's closest. If you have, I think the M11, yeah, holds 26 with the extra bullet capacity. So if you're at 25, obviously go to 26. Don't go all the way to 0. If you're at 18, go up or down. If it's kind of in the middle, it's up to you. But if you're at 5, go to 0. If you're at higher than 15, go to max. Like, that's usually a rule of thumb. And then heal yourself. And run left to go up. Because fuck this game. And then in this screen, run up to go up. Because, like, duh. Run into this door. Mash a little bit. And get ready to fight Shiva. I better do my save state. Okay, now there's 2 ways to go about this fight, primarily. The first one is if you've picked up both revives, I would actually suggest that you do it like this. I'm going to show you the go hard YOLO strat, which is the fastest, usually, but it's by far the most dangerous, and it's a 50-50 chance you're going to die. Shiva has the innate ability to dodge your HP thresholds that pop your vest that heal you. So you're either going to have to spend time healing yourself, risk losing a revive if you got it, get really lucky, or just do the strategy where you dodge attacks, which is what I do, because I don't pick up revives, and I'm not losing time to healing myself. So I just got to hope Shiva doesn't kill me, which is why I hate Shiva more than anything in this whole entire game. She is absolute trash. Cannot stand her. However, I have 2 revives right now. I would suggest that you pick up both revives until you run in at like a 307 pace or better. I don't know. It only costs like 30 seconds to pick up both revives, and it'll save a run. That's one extra encounter, less than. So that's on you guys. That's up to you. But because I have both revives, I'm going to show you what this fight looks like. So you just kind of run up a little bit, stand literally in the center, and just sit here and fire bullets. Zen667, thank you so much for the. Okay, this is important. Zen667, thank you so much for the cheer, man. I really appreciate that. Merry Christmas to you. Okay, so this right here, 44 health. Now Shiva, when you bump into Shiva, you will take 10 contact damage. Remember that, 10 contact damage. 36 is your magic number. If you fall below 36 HP, your vest will heal itself. Or your vest will use a medicine out of your inventory and heal you. So right here, I'm actually in a super dangerous amount of HP. So what should I do? I'm going to actually take a couple steps to bump into Shiva, force contact damage. That's going to reduce me to 34, which is below 36, and it's going to use a medicine. So by taking a little bit of damage, by running into Shiva, by forcing the amount of damage, a safe amount of damage, it's going to heal me to a much higher HP threshold. I'm not going to be here. Now, if you don't care and you just want to wing it, go ahead and just keep shooting. But I would suggest against it. If you fall below 45 HP, bump into her. Even if you're doing the YOLO strategy, just bump into her once. Watch. Boom. There you go. That's all it takes. And then continue to shoot her some more. Because look, she would have killed me. She did 49. I have 44 HP. But yeah, just stand here in a circle, or let her circle around you, and just shoot her to death. If she dies, she dies. Shoot her until she dies. This is the YOLO strat. Shiva has 3 abilities that do damage, one of them that heals. She has the laser, which does the lowest amount of damage on average, the bite, which does the highest amount of single target damage, and then the circle, which actually just half healths you, regardless of what you're at. So as you can see here, I'm just firing bullets and allowing my vest to do all the heavy lifting, and being blessed with good RNG that she doesn't. And there you go. That's Shiva. If you got revives, that's a good YOLO strat. Remember, if you fall below 46 HP, bump into her to heal yourself, and that's how the fight goes. Now, if you don't have a revive, I would not suggest doing it that way because you're pretty much just pissing away her bite can do the upwards of 80 damage. Her laser can do 70 damage. Like, if you just get really bad, unlucky crits, you're gonna die. And at least with the revives, you can afford to. So right here, do not pick up her gun. Absolutely do not pick up her gun. If you do pick up her gun, immediately menu, drain the bullets from it, throw it away. Because it'll screw up your menuing later on if you're not careful. So I'm just going to say end, no thank you. Immediately move up in a straight line. You don't even have to run towards Baker, just run straight up. And boom. There you go. Mash until you're done. It's that simple. And that is the end of day 3. Again, the fastest way to do this is to mash X and then immediately hit circle on the save prompt. But otherwise, just mash X, hit down, say no. Or save if you want to save. It's up to you. We do a little bit of mashing. As soon as he says, where's that Japanese guy? And he says, I don't know. Start moving. Just exit the same way we did earlier. Hold right and up. As soon as the screen loads, just hold straight up to hit the door on perfectly. Zelfie, thank you so much. I appreciate it. What were you guys playing today? Some Monster Hunter World? So here you're going to run up. And actually, this is a funny interaction. As soon as you get to about this line right here, start holding right and up. And you can actually, without actually coming into frame, go up the stairs. So it saves a little bit of lag, saves a little bit of time. So right here. And boom. So I did it a little prematurely, but you can see how I wasn't even on the screen. It's nice. It's real nice. Regardless, go up the stairs. Come down here. Straight lines as always. Try not to bump into that. Again, there's walls that far exceed where they actually should be. Come up here, go up, boom. You're in good shape. Mario Kart 8, Splatoon 2, and Monster Hunter World, hell yeah. Let me know when you guys finish that Ni no Kuni. I would like to watch. And then you're going to go here. So this is a door we dodged earlier. This is where meta is. So once this happens, this is another screen where while you're loading, start moving up so that as soon as you finish loading, you're already in like the text smashing sequence. But if you don't, if you just start mashing X, you're actually not going to be there. You got to take a couple. Look, this is look how many steps. Like 3 steps forward to start the sequence, and then you just mash until the screen loads out. So yeah, I don't know why they did that. It's pretty stupid. But usually you'll hit that text prompt just by holding up while you're loading. By the time the screen loads, you're already in the conversation. So little small time saves scattered throughout the run. I forgot that I can do this. Daniel's gonna give you ammo. As soon as you see Aya start to walk away, stop mashing, because you might accidentally go back to the fucking NYPD, and you don't want to do that. Left once, select hospital, start mashing. Mash through the car sequence. As soon as it loads, confirm the hospital. As soon as you confirm the hospital, start moving right, just straight right. Boom, there you go. And she'll actually run herself over there. I didn't control any of that. So you just run right. You're going to get to about right where this is, and then she's going to run herself over here. And you just mash until she says the line, "Thanks, I'll keep it," or something something to that effect. I'll make note of it. I'll be playing more Ni no Kuni tonight. Hell yeah, hell yeah. That's what I like to hear. I enjoyed Monster Hunter Beta. Looking forward to the full release now. Yeah, I actually don't have a PS4, but I might play it on Steam when it comes out. Okay, so right here, it says it's just a bell. She says, "Thank you, I'll keep it." As soon as you mash out that, start running up. Now here, if you picked up the box in the park that gave me a defense 1 in this run, if that gave you a tool which allowed you to equip the G19 stats in the gun shop, you don't need to do this next part. If you didn't get the tool, which is much more likely, you need to just run up, side, to this door. Now you actually open this door with X. It's like the only door in the entire game that you actually have to input a command to open. Open the box, get the tool, again mash circle to accept items from treasure crates. We really enjoyed it too. If you ever want to team up, you can add us on PSN. Yeah, I know Issa Grimm was mad stoked, or Lily Grimm was mad stoked about Monster Hunter World. She was the one that brought it to my attention, which I was talking about on your guys' stream. So right here, you just run left. It'll automatically move you to this text prompt. When it does, as soon as you see her stand up, hold down and right, run to the wall, straight right, to this little outlet looking thing right here. Boom, just hit it. Now run down and left. The hospital has some of the weirdest screen transition movement sequences. So right here, you're going to run up right, slide across the wall, input this command. She's going to walk back to the center. She's going to say, as soon as you see her do this, stop mashing, start holding up and right again. There's not going to be any more text prompts until you open the door. So there you go. Now down and right to exit. And you got to mash. When she goes over to this door on the right side, that's when you should start. So I hold circle, I mash with X, like this, and I'm holding down already. That way, as soon as she's done, or I'm holding diagonally down and left. So as soon as she's done, I'm moving, and then I just let go of left and hold only down. And right here, as you're holding up, also hold right, because you'll turn into this door right as the load finishes. Here, it's very important to run here and then to the left. You want to brush this as close to it as possible, because let me show you. If you run a little bit up, you have the chance of triggering a fight. Wonder what's in this box. Ammo! I've never actually picked that up before. Anyways, yeah, come down, pick this up. It's the M79. Come up here. You see this little glistening thing right up here? You want to line yourself up with it, hit X, just start mashing circle to accept it. And then she'll walk a few steps, just hold down, because that'll run you straight to the door. She walks herself away from the cabinet, so by the time she's done, you just hold down, boom, you go through the door. Now here, start holding up. Now this is actually a pretty weird spot right here. Make sure that your shadow has cleared this wall, and then start holding diagonally up and right to trigger the next scene. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I went back to my load state to make sure everything was as consistent as it usually is. Regardless, it's not important. Mash through here, it'll be 2 inputs. Run up here, just straight up. As soon as you start loading, immediately hold left, because that'll force you through the door on the left right away, see? On this screen, you want to hold upright, run to this cabinet here, hit X, accept with circle to get the key. Whether or not you pick up this medicine is up to you. I pick it up because not only is it a good, strong medicine for this point in the game, but you can also save right here if that's something you're interested in. But it also lines you up with the door a lot better. So you can actually just hit the box, run straight down, bump off that table, boom, you're right at the door. So that's up to you. I would suggest picking it up. Immediately hold down so that you just screen transition through all of this. Keep holding down. Keep holding down. Now at this door, you're going to run into it to the right. It's going to say something like, this door is unlocked. Yeah, cool. X, X, go through. So right, so you want to hold up and right here. You're going to force a fight as soon as you get to the edge of this. Once you get to this corner right here, that's the fight trigger. So you're going to go, boop, there's no way to dodge it. This is a 100% guaranteed fight. Now these guys, these little bee bastards, they slow you. These guys poison you. These guys are awesome. Don't worry too much about them. The damage they do is insignificant. It should never kill you. Your vest will almost always keep you safe when you're fighting these guys. These guys don't do shit for damage either. The issue is they have a slow. They throw 2 green pools onto the ground. Don't step in those pools or it'll slow you. My advice is to do what I'm about to do here. Stand close, bait it, and then bait it. And then as soon as you do that, you should be fine. You can actually bait where they're going to throw that stuff, and then you can avoid it accordingly. So as you see, I just kind of like move, similar to how you bait the birds earlier on. Just bait these fights. They will all 3 run towards you because the bees want to slow you, so they'll come to you. So just stand next to the jelly pod. And you'll not ever worry about missing with your random targeting gun. Pick up all this crap. It's worth noting that in the museum, or in the hospital, you're going to get a ton of medicine from fights, from crates. So you come down here to pick up this box. Accept it with circle. You're going to come up here to pick up this box. Accept it with circle. Right before you go through this door, if you've picked up a lot of medicine and you haven't used a whole lot, come down here and sort your inventory. The main reason being, you can either use some medicine to top yourself off. I'm pretty close, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my offense 1 on the gun I'm using. Just make sure that you have about 2 inventory spaces free, at least 2. I have 4. Make sure you have 2, because I'll show you why. As you go through this door and you go to pick up this fuse, if my inventory is full, anyways, run up, line yourself up with this. See the edge of this mat I'm lined up with? Line yourself up with that and run directly up, and you'll interact with this. Hit X. Now right here, if I hit X and my inventory is full, she's going to do all this animation, and then it's going to say, sorry, can't fit it in your inventory. Because it's a story-based item, and it's done in like this kind of sequence, she's just going to finish the animation, which is what it looks like here. She's going to finish that. She's going to turn around and walk. Then you're going to have to go manually into your inventory and sort it at that point. So you just lost 10 seconds right there if you forget to sort your inventory. And then it happens again, like just a few seconds later. Once you clear the mat, run diagonally at an angle here. This fight should never kill you. It's very, very rare that it does, so don't really sweat it too much. Just kind of stand in the middle so that you're guaranteed to hit all of them with your random targeting gun. Don't be afraid to take damage. The really, really beautiful thing about the vest that we're wearing, not only does it heal you, but it also thins out your inventory by using medicine from your inventory. Pay attention to the stuff you pick up. Like if I were to get 5 medicines right here, obviously my inventory would be full. So make sure that you know how much inventory space you have to an extent, and you can at least guesstimate. Pick up this trash. End the fight right in front of this little charbroiled dude down here. Immediately run as close to him as possible, hit X, mash circle to get the key item. Now again, she's going to bend down, attempt to pick it up, it'll say sorry, inventory's full, she's going to stand back up, and you're going to have to sort your inventory and then try it again. So again, you're going to lose a lot of time if you don't have space in your inventory. Now exit the way you came in. Right here, you want to hold down and left to just run immediately. So we didn't get the fight in here. This is another encounter that you can get repeated times. If you get it, it's not a big deal. So right now we're 1 for 3, which is not bad. You're immediately going to have to hit X once and run up. Again, once your shadow has cleared that shadow down there, start holding diagonally and run. Now hold up. Now again, as you load, this is important. As you load, I'm holding up. There you go. And I'm holding circle to run, right? Well, as soon as I start to load, I'm going to hold up and right, and I'm going to hold circle, and I'm going to be mashing X so that I'm stutter stepping while I'm loading. So it's going to look like this. And that way, I immediately hit the trigger on this wall. You see how fast that was? So whereas otherwise, if you're not mashing X to stutter step, you're going to run right past it by the time it loads. So you're going to be way up here. You're going to have to come back, hit it. And if you aren't holding up and diagonally, you're going to run all the way up. You're going to have to come back to it and hit it. So yeah, hold up and right, hold circle, be mashing X, and by the time you're loading, you should be done with hitting it. So that's a really, really fast interaction right there. As soon as you're done, just run through these doors. Get a little bit of text and mash. Probably the most pivotal point of RNG in the entire game. The micro Uzi M10. This is one of the most meme parts of the run because it used to be a reset. On average, you should be halfway through your speed run at this point. When you pick up this chest, a little bit less than halfway on average. And this chest we used to reset over, so it was a really big deal. Now I'm actually going to make sure that I use the micro Uzi, so I'm going to create some save states. As soon as she runs away, go up and to the left, hit this box. Oh, yes, micro Uzi. So micro Uzi is the better gun, M10 is the worst gun. Now if you get, regardless of which one you get, the run's not over anymore. Primus, and the incredible routing god that he is, was able to figure out a really, really solid workaround where in a perfect vacuum scenario, the M10 loses really, really marginal time. So it's not worth resetting over. You're going to just, if you get the M10, you're going to skip something that I'll make note of earlier. If you get the micro Uzi, count your blessings, pray to whatever you worship, and continue to this door right over here. You're going to run directly down. You're going to run down left to this chest here. You're going to pick it up. Oftentimes, you might have full inventory. If you do, just get rid of a medicine, whatever your weakest medicine is, if you are full inventory, and put it in there. Because by doing that, as soon as you're done with what I'm about to show you menu-wise, you can just open that chest again, take your medicine, go about your business, if it means that much to you. Otherwise, it's a medicine one. Who really cares? As soon as you get this tool, open your menu. Go straight down to your gun. This is a long menu, so make sure you take it slow if you're not used to it. M11 micro Uzi. M11 bonus stats. Not rate of fire, not random rate of fire. None of that nonsense. You're going to put bonus stats onto the micro Uzi. Then you're going to come to the M79 micro Uzi. You're going to put rate of fire 2 from the M79 onto the micro Uzi. Then M92F micro Uzi, just bonus stats. Boom. So your micro Uzi should have a rate of fire 2, random targeting, all of your bonus stats. You're good to go. Now what you do, you come down here to BP, you hit BP, active, go down once to put all your points into active, come back, sort your inventory like I said, always try to do it. You should so you'll have an offense 1 in here. Remember I used it. If you haven't used it yet, use it now. Doesn't matter when you use it, as long as you use it on the M11 or the Micro Uzi or the M10, because the bonus stats will get pulled off regardless. Just don't use it on the M79, and you're fine. So you'll come here, if you still get your offense 1, you'll use it. Make sure, again, change your weapon from the club to the Uzi. Otherwise, you'll have to do it right here. So you're going to run directly right, fight the mixed man. Just beat the shit out of the mixed man. Just sit here and mash X. It's a little bit luck dependent, because the mixed man not only slows you, but he fires a ball around that is just another target. He doesn't kill you. He never does enough damage to kill you. He just makes your life difficult. So just mash until he's dead. Pick up the cure M that he drops. Come down here to this corner and just start mashing X and spinning in circles, because it takes a while after that fight for the fuse to actually appear, for the particles to appear. So just you spin in circles right there and mash X, and you'll pick it up as soon as it pops up. Then you're going to come up here and exit the room the way you came. Continue to hold up. As the screen transitions, start mashing X. Now here's a little technique. So continue to mash X, say yes, insert a fuse. Now you notice how Aya steps to the left. If you try to insert another fuse, oh, guess what? Aya has positioned herself in a way to where you actually can't equip any more fuses. Why? Who fucking knows? What you gotta do is hold right while you're mashing X. Continue to hold right while you're mashing X, so that she does this little walk. Because why? I don't know, man. This game is dumb. As soon as the third one has been placed, move left a step. Make sure you repair the wires first. If you toggle the power on, you'll have to toggle it back off. If you toggle the power on and repair the wires, you'll shock yourself. You'll lose like 30 seconds because she like passes out. It's a big ordeal. So just make sure X, down, X. So boom, there you go. So don't electrocute her. Then just mash X. She'll toggle it on. The screen will transition. As it does, immediately hold right to move to the next screen. Boom, there you go. Now this screen is the screen of nightmares. Why? Because for some reason the controls are completely backwards. So this right here, you're gonna hold down and right to go up and right. Why? Who fucking knows? Come over here to this small little trigger below this light you see right here. Now to get into the elevator, you're gonna hold up and right to go left. Why? Who knows? And then here, you're gonna hold up and left to go to the top left. And there you go. Start holding left immediately to exit the elevator as soon as possible. Start mashing X because it'll be a text prompt. Thank you so much for the follow, man. I appreciate it. Hey, I didn't get to see the name because my screen is covered up. Lily, do you mind sending me that name or listing that name, please? Sorry, I missed your name, man. Thank you so much for the follow. Who knows is a common sentiment for this game, as well as like there's just no good reason. There's no good reason, and that's the beauty of it, right? That's the beauty of the game. But as soon as the text is done, those little girls run away. Just hold right. Continue to hold right. That's okay. I'll check Streamlabs. Continue to hold right, and it'll start this fight as soon as you finish loading the screen. Now for this fight, it's important that you stand like right here. Stand in the middle of these guys. Don't worry about dodging their attacks. If anything, they'll do so much damage to you that'll pop medicine, thin out your inventory, and that's actually a better situation to be in. So just run over here, stand in the middle of them, again, in the best position to where you can hit the most amount of enemies, and just let them lay up on you. It doesn't even matter, as long as you're inputting your attack commands as soon. Hey, ZX Pro JK, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the follow, thank you so much for the cheer. Again, just shoot them until they're dead. Running around, spending time running around. If you have no medicines, maybe dodge their attacks. They just do so little damage, it's hard to justify it. And every second that your ATB is full, that it's not being used, is a second you lose. So absolutely just take all that damage there if you can afford to. Most of the time you're going to be fine. Accept all the shit that they drop. Now right here, if you're below 80 health, I would suggest healing. I'm not, so I'm not going to heal. But if you are below 80 health, definitely heal. Run up through this doorway right here. Make sure you run like you saw me run a little bit to the right before I came up here. Do that, because if you don't, you'll get caught on the edge of the door. Another invisible wall situation. Here, immediately down and right. Now this fight is always going to go almost the same way. The bee is going to run at you. Just move up till he moves to you, and then move around and in a circle. When you do that, you'll bait and you'll dodge his slow attack 100% of the time. This fight should end in 2 or 3 turns, depending on crits. And there you go. End as close to the bottom of the screen as possible. It will automatically run you, and then you mash. Exelfi, thank you so much. My gosh, you guys are cheering so much. I really do appreciate it. So as soon as she says, however, a nurse is trapped, and Aya says, yes, that's it, yes, period, like a girlfriend who's upset with you, dropping the very short word in the period right after. Remember that, because as soon as you hit yes, start holding up and right, and then release to just right. Now on this screen, you're going to hold up and right to start the fight as fast as possible. Gotta go to work, but I'll be lurking. Well, thank you so much for the cheers. Thank you so much for the host, and hope work is decent for you. Yeah, have a good one. I'll be checking out for your runs a little bit later today for your plan. Yes or fine, both danger words, or okay, period. Anyways, you start this fight as quickly as possible. You see that there's a bee, so as you've been doing, bait the bee attacks. I did a poor job of it, so don't do what I did. Prioritize dodging the bee attack before attacking, because now I'm going to lose a lot of time because I got hit with it. Also, it's worth noting that slow does not stack, so if you get hit with it again, it's not a big deal. None of the status effects in this game actually stack, but see where I am right now? From right here to right here, you need to end this fight somewhere up here where I am. One of these 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, how about 3? 1, 2, 3. These 3 squares right here. Because you're going to immediately start a cutscene as long as you're up here. If you're over here, she'll run herself to it, or you got to walk to it. Don't bother with that stuff. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Be up here every single time you end this fight. And you'll see that I immediately start the cutscene. No movement, nothing involved. Just mash an X, that's all. So that saves you a lot of seconds because Aya's movement speed is incredibly discouraging. Very, very slow. Oh, I guess I can skip all this, so I keep forgetting that. Mash. She's actually going to run herself to the nurse over here. Mash through it. Again, make sure you have an inventory slot. You absolutely will, so don't worry about checking. Because once you've equipped all the guns and everything to the micro Uzi or the M10, whatever you received, you are going to have tons of inventory space. So you shouldn't have to actually menu. But for some reason, if you didn't do your menuing or something like that, you're gonna lose a lot of time, and you're gonna lose even more if you can't accept this item from this lady. So as soon as this is done, hold just down and exit the room. Once you get to here, exit that way. Now this is one of the 4. This is the second of the 4 encounters in the hospital. The first one we did not get. This one we did. Now this is probably the worst repeat encounter of the first 6. So it sucks to get this one. But you notice, here's a little strategy for this fight. You notice how this bee is over here as opposed to over here this time? If you get this repeat encounter, he's always going to be here. What you want to do is keep one of these jellies in between yourself and the bee. Because as the bee is stuck on the jelly trying to travel towards you, he will not be throwing out his slow attack. So if you're standing right here, and he's running into this, trying to get to you, he will never throw out a single attack. If you can keep him, if you can maintain that. I'll see if I can show you what that looks like. So right here, oh, I did a bad job of it. Sometimes the jelly moves out of his way and it's not up to you. But if you have the opportunity, definitely try to do that. Because as you see, I'm slowed. It's going to slow down the fight a little bit. But you'll absolutely be able to just completely negate him in this fight, which is very, very helpful. Otherwise, just dodge the slow like you're supposed to. I was a little bit lazy about it. That's fine. Anyways, exit the room. The next 2 rooms are repeat encounters possibility. Move up and left. We didn't get this one. You can actually move up and left from the bottom corner all the way up to the top to zone into the next room. Move down and left. Again, you don't have to zone perfectly in the center. As long as you make it into the loading zone, you're fine. So the fastest way to do it is to just run in a straight line. So we got 2 of the encounters in here. So far we are 3 for 6, which is obviously average as far as statistics are concerned, but I would not consider it a good run as far as the run itself. So you mash through here until this lady takes off. Why a grown-ass woman runs like that, I have no idea. Immediately move up to this green light. Boom. And immediately hold left after you mash once. Now here you're going to hold up. You're going to go up left to move into this door. Now very important before you move anywhere. If you have less than 100 health, I would definitely use 1 heal 2. Just 1. Don't use any more because you need your Parasite energy. But if you're less than 100 health, I would use a heal 2. Now that being, the reason for that is this guy is very strange. He can do a lot of damage on accident. I don't have a good way to deal with him because I don't know what the hell his issue is. He's just weird. Just move down, start the fight. It's a monster jelly, right? My best advice is to run here, pop off an attack, start moving up, and you'll usually dodge his first attack. And you can usually kill him in 2 turns. If you don't, just start running around in circles to hope. I can't believe I dodged him twice. How about that? Usually you're going to get hit at least once. He hits for like 65 damage on average. Just try to run around. Stay mobile in between your attacks to try and dodge his attacks. Come over here, get the ammo. But if you get hit twice from him, you die. So make sure that you're above 100 health. You're going to hit this one. I don't actually know if you can actually even touch these ones. I guess you can't. Anyways, touch this one. The one furthest away from the chest with ammo in it. Run up here. You see how I kind of lined myself up with the with this line in the door here? Try to do that. The reason for that is as you travel up, you want to be as close to the door entry point as possible. Because as you can see here, I'll show you. I'll save state real quick. Save states are nice. So as you can see, Aya will take some steps. Yeah? She'll take some steps to readjust herself in order to open the door. She has like this little animation. If I hit it from way over here, look how slow this is. See, that's like 5 extra steps. That's like 2 extra seconds of animation. I wonder what this is. Trash. Anyways, yep, hit the door right on the handle if you can. It's going to save you the most amount of movement animation. Come here. As soon as the screen finishes loading, hold down and left. Okay, so as this screen loads, you're going to do like you did earlier. Start holding right and up. Start holding right and up and mashing X to stutter step. So by the time you finish loading, you haven't passed it. If you're not stutter stepping, you'll actually run to the next screen before it even loads this one. I don't know why. Run in here with up and left again to get to the switch. Hit X once. It's going to prompt you to choose a floor. Down to 13th floor. It goes from the basement to the lobby to the 13th floor. Architecture was a lot different in this day and age. Don't ask me why. Exit the elevator with the left. Immediately start moving down left to this door. She'll automatically open it herself. Immediately start moving left to start the fight off right away. Alright, now this is one of the first points we're ever going to use energy shot. Now, I cannot stress this enough. Make sure you energy shot the correct target. If you do not, this fight is going to be not only slow as all get out, but it's probably going to burn a couple of your medicines and be annoying. So the reason I told you not to heal any more than 1 heal 2 earlier is because we need to have max Parasite energy. Because energy shot uses all the Parasite energy available to do damage. Now, if it's fully charged, it has a percentage increase bonus, so it does a lot more damage than even if it's 99% charged. So you're only ever going to do energy shot in the speedrun route with max Parasite energy. So what you're going to do here is, because Mixed Man is so annoying, he's so debilitating towards the runs, you're going to run towards him. As soon as you are able to attack, open up your menu. Instead of hitting X to attack, hit triangle to open menu. Parasite energy, energy shot. Say okay. Now make sure you change the target to the Mixed Man, not the Mixed Man's ball. You can see it blinking there. Make sure it's the Mixed Man. If it's the ball, you're going to one-shot this ball, lose all your Parasite energy, put yourself in a stasis, get slowed, get poisoned, and it's awful. It sucks. I've done it multiple times. So shoot the Mixed Man once. He's not going to die, but he'll be exactly one attack away from dying, regardless of whether you crit or not. So that means that we have not only one less target, you got to get lucky. He got really pissed off, and he used both of his attacks. So, wow. So this is why Mixed Man is so bad. Not only has he slowed us, he's added an additional 2 targets to the fight, and he slows down this fight. But reducing him to 1 hit of damage as opposed to... I'm actually going to take contact damage here. 1 hit of damage as opposed to 5, it at least ensures that he has less turns to be able to do something like that. So here you're going to accept everything. You're going to accept everything. Oh yeah, if you shoot 100 balls in the same fight, obviously you can't do that with a random targeting gun. If you ever are bored and you want to kill 100 balls from a single Mixed Man, you're going to get a super tool at the end of it. I would not suggest ever doing that unless you just have nothing to do in your day. But yeah, it exists. It's an Easter egg. So accept the tool from this box right here. Make sure that you're on this side of this black line, over here in between these 2 black lines. To get the tool, confirm it with circle. Run to this arrow, mash, start moving up, mash, now start moving left, mash. Why they have a safety off switch that they decided to put something in front of, and then they're like, let's hide this, but in case we forget it's hidden, let's put this big ass arrow in front of it. Couldn't tell you. Immediately hold right, run to like about right here. You're gonna progress to this door. Now if you have less than 100 health, heal. If you don't need to heal, you're fine. But this fight can actually kill you if you have less than 100 health. It's not likely, but it can. Immediately be holding up in the screen, because you'll start the fight before you actually finish loading. So you'll come right into the fight. Don't energy shot this Mixed Man. Most of the time, they'll die so quickly in the previous fight that you won't even have the opportunity. Just mash X. Again, stand in the middle of them. If you want to dodge the fireballs, you know, that's probably a good idea. But essentially, kill both of these guys. Your vest should keep you alive. Be upset about why Mixed Men are like this and why the game even thought this was a cool enemy to have. So, jeez. Cancer. Anyways, run up. Again, if you are below 100 health, which I know I am now, heal 2 just once to keep you above 100 health. As soon as this screen starts to load, hold right, and you'll force yourself into a room. Boop. Continue to hold right, and you'll start a fight. Now here, if you have Parasite energy, save it. Just gun this down the same way you did the last fight. Both of these guys die a lot faster when there's just 2 enemies as opposed to 3. Continue to mash X. Ponder your existence. Consider other games to speedrun. I don't know. Whatever you feel like doing. Wow. So as you can see, I keep killing the Mixed Man ball, which has slowed this fight down exponentially. It's really bad luck. So try to end this fight right up here by these documents. Before you click on... I don't want to suggest that, but yeah, before you click on this, sort. Get rid of everything you don't need. So cure anythings. Get rid of all of it. reload your gun, go to your BP. If you have any, use it on active, back out, start mashing. So now you're already ready for the next boss fight. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Is heal. Heal yourself as well. So you're all ready for the next boss fight, and you're guaranteed that you're not going to pick up, or that you're not going to be screwed out of picking up any of these items right here. As soon as you see her stand up, move to this blue piece of pile or whatever. Good to go. Here you can actually save at this blinking red light you see on this desk. If you feel like you need to save, go ahead and do it. There's a boss fight coming up, probably the easiest boss in the whole game, so I wouldn't advise it. But if you feel like you need to, go ahead. So right here, you're going to run down, slide off this chair. As soon as you're done sliding, hold down right. And then run to this wall, run all the way up the wall to ensure that you're going to hit the elevator switch 100% of the time. Oh, fuck, I forgot to heal. Whatever. Run to the elevator. Mash. It's a mashing sequence and some cutscenes. Now, as soon as you see this cutscene start to fade out, start holding down left and mashing X so that you hit the elevator switch. There's a lot of lag for some reason after this. So I'm going to actually heal a couple times. I'll probably do like that. That's fine. Just heal however you need to. Parasite energy is usually first. Medicine is usually second. There's a couple of times where you should do that reversed because you need to prioritize keeping parasite energy. This is not one of them. Okay, so for this fight, I'm going to explain it from the get-go because the very, very first input in the fight determines how the fight goes. If you see this giant spider take a step back, it's going to be a bad fight. If he takes a step forward or to the side, it's going to be a good fight. There's not anything you can do about it. You should just be able to recognize it as soon as it happens so that you can position yourself advantageously. Here, you're going to hold immediately down and left to start the fight. Continue to hold down and left. Run as fast as you can to the spider. So he ran forward, right? That's good. Just start shooting him. Don't care if he hits you in the face. It's irrelevant. Don't cast haste or any of that nonsense. Just sit here and shoot him. After 3, 4, 5, depending on your luck with crits, attack rounds, he'll phase into the next portion of the fight. Now, if he takes a step back, while you're running towards him, make sure you get right in front of him. Because he, like underneath him even, behind him if you can. Which is probably not going to happen. But if you're fast enough, you can get behind him. And he'll shoot out webs, which root you in place, apply slow, and then he runs far away from you to where you actually can't hit him. If that happens, just keep yourself alive with medicine or whatever. Wait for it to wear off. If he gets close enough to shoot, shoot him. But you just got to wait it out. And that sucks because it happens every once in a while. But as soon as he phases him to phase 2, if you have full parasite energy when you start the fight and he sticks you with web, you just fire energy shot. That'll probably never happen. You'll probably always have not full parasite energy. Regardless, when he phases to phase 2, immediately start holding right because he immediately opens up with a swipe. And you're going to dodge it. Whoop! Now right here, stay along the right side of him because it'll corral him to stay up in this area. So as long as you stay kind of in front of him and along this edge, it'll keep him over here. And the reason we do that is because it saves a little bit of time on his death animation. So fire probably 1, 2. On the third shot, go ahead and fire energy shot. Make sure you're at full parasite energy, fire energy shot. If that doesn't kill him, one more shot will kill him, but usually that will kill him. And there you go. So we died. He had not very far to walk. You had a long ways to walk though, so that's kind of slow. But just like Shiva, do not pick up the gun. You do not want the G23. It will ruin your menus later on if you're not aware that you kept it on accident. So go ahead and hit end. Do not pick up that item. Spider is exceptionally easy. It's really, really hard to die because he does like the perfect amount of damage for your vest to heal you. So don't fret about that fight too much. If you can manage to get him to second phase, you're probably gonna be fine. It's rare that you die, and it's even rarer that you die in second phase. Now, if he webs you and the first phase goes really terrible, that sucks. But you're still not gonna die. unless you just get really unlucky. So that it's like that way with any fight in this game. Anyways, mash. Watch the cutscene. Mash some more. As soon as she mash one more time as she's flying away, run down. As soon as you're about right here, run diagonally, left and down, and run to this scaffolding over here. Make sure you do that. Make sure you don't go to the bathroom and forget to do it. Make sure you don't, because you'll die. A plane will come and crash into the ceiling if you're not paying attention, and you'll die. So yeah, run down here, get on the scaffolding, watch this cutscene, watch this shit. Okay, so right here, immediately run to the left, get in between the spider and this. Fuck, I guess you can't see it when I'm paused. Okay, cool. Way to go, Carrie. That was a heads up play. See this thing right here? You want to be like right here. Stand right here. You want to be close to it because that's where she runs to after this fight is over. And as soon as you have ATB, just shoot this dumb spider. So like this. Whoop. Gonna stand right here. Boom. Sometimes they'll die in one attack, sometimes they'll die in two. But she runs over to the switch, and it helps to be right in front of it. So boom, I was positioned perfectly for that. Now you just mash a bunch. Now this is one thing that's interesting. As soon as this card screen transitions into a load, start holding up and left. Because you don't actually choose on the mini-map for like the first time ever where you don't confirm your spot. It's the first time in the game it happens, it's the last time in the game. Immediately be holding up and left as soon as this screen finishes transitioning. So, I'm holding left and up. I'm holding up. There you go. Because you don't actually choose the NYPD, she just spits you out there. Run diagonally down. Again, whenever you're hitting this door in the NYPD, try to be on like this line right here on the floor. Because it reduces her walking animation time to open the door. Maida's going to say, hey, guess what? They need you in there. Be like, wow, thanks for that information. Go into the office. Come down. She'll automatically hit a trigger, start walking. Master all of this. And that is going to be the end of day 4. Again, fastest way is to X circle, but X down X also works perfectly fine. So here, this is where things start to get a little bit more memory intensive. If you have the micro Uzi, you need to go 5 to the right for the warehouse. If you got the M10, out of the box where the micro Uzi comes out of, the M10 micro Uzi box in the hospital, then you skip the warehouse. You go straight to Chinatown. So if you've got the M10, go 2 left, Chinatown. If you got the micro Uzi, you can either go 5 right or 4 left to the warehouse. Just make sure you go to the warehouse. Micro Uzi goes to warehouse first. M10 skips the warehouse. So there you go. We're going to go to the warehouse because we got the micro Uzi. You're doing the whole thing in one sitting? Yeah, might as well. So boom. Officer Brea, ignore this guy. He's not very smart. Smash. As soon as he takes off, starts running, you need to start holding right and up. And you'll hit a trigger, and he'll come back to get his dog. So now, go to this box right over here. The best way to do it is to hold right and up for a little bit, and then just straight right. Get this. What the fuck? Hit this box. Get the PPK. Run to right here, about halfway in this piece. Directly left from the box till you're about halfway right here. Run up and left at the same time. Hit X. And you're gonna get a toolbox that you can't see. Again, if you're like right here, run up and left, and as soon as you disappear, run a little bit left, and that's probably a more consistent way to hit it. But just move around a little bit and keep mashing until you pick up the tool. You absolutely need that tool, so do not leave without it. If you come here to pick up the PPK, Cannot leave without the tool. So while you're here, immediately go to your gun, find the PPK, find the micro Uzi, take quick draw, move it onto the micro Uzi. Now go to BP if you have any, put it into active. We don't. Sort your inventory, get the hell out of here. Now we are going to go to Chinatown, which is going to be 2 to the right. Boop, boop. Now if you have the M10, you skip all of that, you just go straight to Chinatown. However, having quick draw on the micro Uzi actually it helps so much that it outweighs that time cost of going to a warehouse in the first place. So micro Uzi is the best gun for another reason as well, though. So pray for micro Uzi, cry over M10s. Just run directly up, continue to run directly up. You're going to start a fight. Now start mashing X, because when you have quick draw, it allows you to have full ATB at the beginning of fights sometimes, and you can just get a free attack off right out the gate. Boom. Continue to run up. That's such a good fight, man. I fucking love micro Uzi. In boss fights, don't just start immediately mashing X, but in regular fights, as soon as they start mashing X. You don't always get quick draw, but you do a lot of the time. So I'm going to move up here because they're obviously far away. And then, yeah, just start mashing. But quick draw happens, I don't know what the percentage is as far as like the likelihood of it happening. But it feels like it happens a ton sometimes, and then sometimes it just like does not happen at all. So it's just a random thing. I remember crocodiles being a pain back in the day. Yeah, we actually only fight the one boss because we don't go to the warehouse where the crocodiles are, and we don't actually fight the extra ones in the sewer. Right here, continue to run up. Just run straight up. Aya will reposition herself. Mash. Do not hold any directions. Just mash, and after this sequence is over with her talking to him, if you continue to mash, it'll immediately tell her to climb into the ladder. So just keep mashing right here, and she'll hop right in. If you accidentally hold any direction, you're gonna have to reposition yourself where she is now. To climb down the ladder. There you go. Soon it will be time for bats. Yeah, I know. So she climbs down the ladder. If you didn't get the micro Uzi, if you just had the M10, so if you had the micro Uzi, you went to the warehouse and you did the menu there like I told you to, right? Well, if you had the M10, you skipped the warehouse, so you haven't opened your menu yet. Right here is when you should do that. Come here, go to BP, active time. The reason I tell you to do it here, not at the beginning of Chinatown, is because at the beginning of Chinatown, as you saw when I was in the warehouse, I only had 92 bonus points. I didn't have over 100. So by having over 100, or by waiting until this point, you're guaranteed to have over 100 because of those 2 fights we fight along the way. Paul Broyen, I think that's how you say that. Thank you so much for the subscription, man. I really appreciate it. That is exceptionally nice. Unfortunately, I don't have a super amazing emote. You'll just have to deal with the PogChamp ripoff. But thanks so much, man. I do appreciate it. Hopefully you're a fan of Parasite Eve, Nino Kuni, or what else do I play? Oh, Pets Cats 2 and White Knight Chronicles. Paul Broyen, thank you so much. Back to it, anyways. You'll open it up here. You'll use active. Immediately sort. Oh, oops. Immediately sort your inventory. No, you know me in real life. That's sus. Anyways, sort inventory like you always do. If you got junk, might as well get rid of it. Cure M's, get rid of it. It's worthless. Anyways, just make sure you menu. Oh, from Artisan. Yeah, what's going on, man? Go left. Run straight left, directly left. Continue to hold directly left. You'll start this fight. Save state. Now this fight can lose you whole minutes. I kid you not. This fight will end you. It'll make you crazy. It'll make you suicidal, all kinds of things. I can't stress this enough. Keep your distance. Kipo not using Kipo. Ooh, dang, boy, you got called out, Dylan. That's my roommate. So yeah, he's I just told him what you thought of his not using Kipo. Anyways, this fight, the best thing to do is what I'm going to try to show you. Now, it doesn't always work. Sometimes you just got to suck it up and be upset. But I'm going to try to display the best way to do this fight. Now, what happens here is, I wish I could put this in like slow motion. So right off the bat, I'm going to move up to this wall. Gotta rep the prof, yo, hell yeah, appreciate you. So right up here, that's a pretty good answer, Dylan. Run up here to this wall. These bats are going to be over here every single time the fight starts. 2 of them are going to be on a cycle similar to one another, and the other one's going to be a bit behind. They are going to launch a sonic boom shaped attack at you. Absolutely do not get hit by it. You'll hear it. The sound trigger will help. As soon as you hear it, start running downwards. Like this. By keeping your distance, you give yourself more time to dodge, as you can see here. So there's the 2 that are on a similar timing, and then squeeze in attacks in between those. Do not get greedy with this fight. If you accidentally have to reload, or if you accidentally take contact damage and bump into him, the fight is over. Or the fight is not over, but you're going to get blinded, and it's going to take forever. Blind means that for 4 turns, you cannot hit anything. If you do get blinded, here, I'll show you what it looks like when you get blinded. Okay. So if I were to run into here and get blinded, dodge 1, get greedy, come do an attack, end up eating a blind. Now, of course, when I want to be blind, I can't be blinded. See, I'm just shooting targets. Oh, got blinded. So for 4 turns now, I actually won't be able to hit anything. So as soon as you get blinded, energy shot the highest health target. If you don't know which one that is, just energy shot one of them. Kill it. Wait for a blind to wear off. It's indicated by this thing over here. And it does not stack, so you can continue to get hit by it now. Just as soon as you see that wear off, pump an attack into this guy. Boom. That's the most efficient way to deal with that if you do get blinded. Now that we have 2 Cure Ds, we're just going to use an item to get rid of blind in the future. But for this fight, we have not had an opportunity to obtain any of these up until this point. So you just got to rough it through this fight until you get the item. Kind of sad that they shut down White Knight Chronicles. I never played it when online was available. I just routed it recently. But I heard a lot of people were actually real big into like the online component of White Knight Chronicles. It's interesting that a console game like that had that capability. I always get a kick out of that stuff. Run directly down. You're going to force a fight here. Now this fight can either be 2 bats or 1 frog. It is 2 bats. Okay, cool. So immediately run to the right. Wait for that first attack to come out. Come down. Start shooting. Try to dodge from this point forward the best you can. Really good bat fight there. If you do get blinded in that fight, just open up your inventory, find Cure D, use the Cure D to cure your blindness, and kill them. Don't energy shot or anything like that now. Now that we have Cure D, it makes it a lot easier. Now right here is the worst encounter you can get in the game. This fight is, I don't know what the odds of getting this fight are. I don't think they're very high. It's not a repeat encounter, so it's not 50%. It just happens sometimes. You never want to see it. It's awful. And we got it. Perfect. It's 2 bats and 2 snakes. So on top of blind, you're going to eat poison. Because of the way this fight works, the amount of enemies, guaranteed you're going to go through some medicine. And like this whole fight doesn't even need to happen. So you can see the amount of time that I'm losing. I'm going to need to heal because for some reason I think I have no medicine. Oh, that's bad. I do have heal 3 now though. Once you get heal 3, you can use it. The only thing that I would not do is after this fight, I would not use any more Parasite energy. If you get this fight here, heal yourself to full, and do not use any more Parasite energy. because for Centipede you're gonna need some, and it's not always guaranteed that you're gonna get these next fights. So this fight right here is a fight you can get, but you don't always get. So see, we didn't get this one. So you only have one more opportunity to build up Parasite energy before, or no, two technically, before Centipede. And you need to have enough to cast at least one haste. Preferably you need to have more than half, but anyways, run to this ladder. She's going to climb up it. I think there were some high-end armor sets and weapons you could only get through online play. That makes sense. That makes sense. And then I bet, like, if that translated to New Game Plus, I bet the New Game Plus world record would be hella easy to break. Immediately just run right. And move down to go right. You're going to force a fight with the bat. Run as fast as you can to this bat. Some people say that they run to the side and then they dodge to the left or whatever. It doesn't work. Just, if you get blinded, use a Cure D, run up to this bat, beat his ass. You should kill him in one turn pretty consistently. Continue to run down. On this next screen, hold right, and start a cutscene. I'm actually going to use the restroom really quick, so enjoy this lovely cutscene real quickly. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, so now we're going to hold up. Even though we need to go left, make sure you're holding. You're going to hit X once to confirm that input. Hold up. A lot of the actual directions you need to hold, it just comes with practice. Primus's notes, again, include every input you need to input on every single screen. So read those notes if you plan on speedrunning. They're incredible. Otherwise, you're eventually going to memorize them. They're very hard to be like, oh yeah, I remember he said to hold up here. I'm going to say that just to help you guys out, but again, it's something that's going to come naturally eventually. Run to this chest, hit X, hit circle to get the medicine 3. Always get this chest. Always. Doesn't always have medicine 3, but a large amount of the time it does. And you will almost always need it. So never, never, never miss this chest. I don't care what pace you're on. Don't miss it. Because if you die to Centipede, your pace doesn't matter. Instead of running, so check this out. If I run directly right to go up these stairs, I'm going to get stuck. So take 1/2 step down, just a pixel down, and then run right to go up. Just like literally that much. Enough to turn your body in the downward direction. Hold right and up to immediately hit that trigger. She'll move herself. Immediately start holding down and left, mashing X while holding circle. And you'll open this box. There you go. Then run to this, mash X. As soon as she leans forward, hit X, hit X, hit X, down X. So don't mash the second time, because you got to turn both pumps on. You'll just keep on turning pump 1 on if you just continue to mash. Cutscene. Good stuff. Right here, so as the screen is loading, you can already hit X. you can buffer the command, so as soon as it finishes loading, it'll pop up this menu. Turn the pump off. Make sure you turn the pump off. If you go through that cutscene and you don't turn the pump off, you'll go through this door right here, and this whole lake will be full, and you can't cross it. You'll have to run back in there, turn the pump off, then come back. Anyways, hold left. As you cross this, hold down and left till you get across, then hold, or I'm sorry, down and right. Hold right, down and right. Once you get up, just hold straight right. By holding down and right there, it actually lines you up with this door perfectly every single time. Otherwise, if I show you what that looks like, I do wish I didn't have to hold. Here we go. Whoop. Okay, cool. Alright, so I'm going to show you what it looks like if you do it wrong. Just hold right, hold the right, and continue to hold right. You're going to miss the door. For some reason, the door is not directly ahead of you. See that? Even though it looks like you're right in front of the stairs, you're not. So while you cross, the best way to do it is as soon as you jump down here, hold down and right so that you kind of run at a diagonal angle. And as soon as you climb up, you can go back to holding right, and you'll 100% of the time be at the perfect spot to hit the door. So here you just hold up. Now this is another cool trick. It skips an entire screen, so obviously saves you time. As soon as you make it past these little broken cables or whatever, start running up. Follow this. You see this red thing on the ground right here? You're going to want to run straight at it like this, and it'll force you. You see that little weird clip that it did right there? It'll force you up here. Climb up here. If you climb up further down, like if I just ran straight left across, it would put me on a whole nother screen. So I would actually have to travel a whole extra screen. So don't do that. As soon as you climb up here, you can either hold up, go left. If you need to save, Centipede is coming up. It is a fight where a lot of people lose runs. For your first couple of tries, consider saving here at this phone right here. If you're running low on medicine, which I am now, come over here to this chest and pick it up to get the medicine 3. Now these are all things you need to know, kind of what your status is ahead of time. If I gotta know that I'm running low on medicines. I gotta know that you know, based on my medicine or my ammo count, this fight might be rough. I should save. Because otherwise, the faster way to travel as you climb up is to just hold circle left, go down here, and run up. Otherwise, do the phone, do the chest, drop down right here, and run up. You know, but keep track of your resources, because you'll be really in shock when you get to some of the harder fights in the game and you get clocked and you're like, that's okay, my vest is going to heal me, and it doesn't, because you're like, oh holy shit, I managed to use 30 medicines in the hospital or whatever. So this fight, if you have the micro Uzi with quick draw on it, start mashing X as soon as this fight starts, because you can oftentimes get a free attack in. It might not do max damage. Okay, I didn't. So if you don't have full ATB, you have the M10, whatever, run away from the guy, because if you run near him, he'll start swatting you, and it hurts. So run away from him again until your ATB is charged. You can actually, you see what I did right there where I got a free attack in? You can actually do that. Even though he's in the ground, kind of like the worm that I showed you earlier, you can still hit his hurt boxes. So anyways, kill him. Pray to God that he drops a cure P. Always make sure that you pick up this cure P. I cannot stress that enough. Pick up this cure P. It is vital. It's not necessary, like you don't need to reset or anything over it, but it makes the next fight way more safe. And it's already a hard fight, so try to get this cure P. Make sure your inventory is not full. Pick it up. He will almost. I've only ever seen him not drop it once in hundreds of attempts. Run down here. Run to this chest. It'll either be ammo or medicine, preferably medicine. So now that we have 3. Yeah, 3 medicine 3s. Wow, that's really cutting it close. Anyways, as soon as you pick up that chest, unload or reload your gun, whatever's fastest. Make sure that you have at least 1 cure D and 1 cure P. Usually you'll have more cure Ds. This is where you would menu and throw those away. I did that a little bit ago. So get rid of all your cure Ds except for 2. Keep 2 if you have extras. If you only have 1, that's fine. make sure you have it. Go to your BP. If you have BP, put it into active. You won't always. It depends on the depends on how many encounters you got. Sort your inventory. Continue forward. Get ready for Centipede. He's not crazy difficult if you follow a certain strategy, which I'm going to try to put on display for you guys here. Now, if you have the micro Uzi, a couple things. Know where your parasite energy is at. Mine is full, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heal 3. You see how much it would use? Almost all of it. So I'm going to heal 2. Then I'm going to heal 1. Just be at 300 health or higher. That amount of parasite energy that I'm at is a good amount. You want to be at above half parasite energy, almost always. If you have extra medicines, like medicine 1s and 2s and stuff like that, heal with those instead and maintain your parasite energy. And there's a few reasons for it. If you have the micro Uzi, as soon as the fight starts, immediately start hitting triangle, because you want to cast haste right off the bat. Alternatively, actually, you know what? Scratch that. Don't cast haste right off the bat. I forgot that I changed that. But I'll show you kind of how this fight works before I start explaining it a little bit more. So immediately, if you have the micro Uzi, just mash X, fire a free attack. He's almost always going to open up with poison that he shoots into the sky. If you get a free attack off right off the bat, you can sometimes force him into meleeing you, which is better than poison, because poison is terrible. But now, your second attack, cast haste. And the reason I do it second now as opposed to first is because of the new strategy we found out. Do not get hit with that laser beam. It will blind you. In which case, that's when you would use the Cure D. So, okay, this is what's important now. As soon as you see him start to do this, frenzy out, spray pink mist, get as close to him as you can, and start doing this. Until it says something other than no target. The reason for it is, as soon as he splits, if you do it quick enough, even though it's random targeting, it'll fire all of your bullets onto the same target. Make sure you keep track of what target that is. Also, in that first phase, if you get poisoned, open up your inventory and use Cure P. If you get blinded, open up your inventory and use Cure D. Those are the most 2 important things. Because you will die, the fight will go to shit. Those 2 things need to be max priority. This is one of those fights where survival is sometimes a little bit better than speed, depending on your resources, if you have revives, things like that, your pace, whatever. But this is probably the second most important thing, outside of blindness and poison. This changes the whole impact of the fight, okay? Immediately as he splits and you're able to target something, fire. Keep track of the bullets and where they went. So I missed 1, but 2 bullets landed on this right here, which is the best. So what I need to do now is wait for my parasite energy to fully charge and fire at the other body piece. For some reason, it only will target one of these 2 body pieces, and it'll pump all 3 bullets into one enemy, which is amazing. Because real quickly, this guy is low health. We're going to one-shot this guy with the energy shot, and we're down to 2 targets instead of 4. And that changes everything for this fight. So immediately,